had to stop down this descent because it's so beautiful. Welcome to Mallorca. I've just hired my bike, a nice giant Revolt gravel bike. I hired it from Bike Island in Puerto Palenza. I'm cycling to Palenza itself, which is just up in the hills. Full disclosure, when I booked these flights, I genuinely didn't know how much of a cycling mecca Mallorca was. Like, I genuinely didn't know, which is embarrassingly ignorant considering the industry I work in, where I live, and the fact I'm quite a keen cyclist. Like, I didn't know that people came here for cycling holidays and for triathlon training camps and things like that, in the same way they go to Lanzarote, but I wasn't quite anticipating my entire hotel breakfast just being cyclists. These roads, by the way, are bloody amazing. They're the equivalent of, I mean, they're just lanes, but between olive groves, hardly any traffic, really lovely. I'm going to a headwind for some reason. I'm cycling from Puerto Palenza to Palenza itself, and there is a main road that you can take and it's got a cycle path alongside it. But who wants to do that when you can take the longer meandering olive grove route with no traffic? It's lovely. I'm going to talk a bit more about hiring a bike in Mallorca in a minute, but can I just say that this bike's gears change beautifully. Maybe that's just saying that I need to take my bike in for a service, because oh my god, my gears are unhappy at the moment on my gravel bike at home. But this giant Revolt, oh, gear changes are sweet. I started here. I'm going like around here basically, and then later I'll be going down here, over here and back again. Tomorrow I'm going to be coming up here all the way to the lighthouse and then back down. It's so pretty. Not 100% sure where I am. In a little town near Palenza. So I invented this route this morning on Commute. Oh my god, the views. And I just basically clicked waypoints through these little lanes so I could avoid the main road. And I just wanted to explore a bit, take my time. Wow. And so I'm just pedaling around these little residential switchbacks. Unbelievable. I'm such an idiot. I just realised I'm actually in Palenza. I'm just going up the side of it, like the corner, because I plotted this viewpoint in that I had forgotten. So I'm just going up this little switchback road to what was supposedly an amazing viewpoint. And then I'm going to go down into Palenza, and then, well, that took me hardly any time. Half an hour to get to Palenza from Port to Palenza, and I was going very slowly and very indirect, so you could probably wang it here in about 10 minutes. The heat is already starting to creep up. I don't know what it's supposed to be today. I think maybe 26, 27 degrees, which I'd kind of forgotten how warm that is. And it's only, I don't know, I guess 10 o'clock, not even 10 o'clock, maybe 10 to 10. the bike shop opened at 9, so I got my bike there, faffed around a bit, and then cycled up here. I'm actually now above Pollença, and I'm going to go into the town in a minute, and then I'm going to cycle down to Alcudia, which is another peninsula at the southern end of the Puerto Pollença Bay, basically. Pollença is so pretty. It's a proper labyrinth. This is the road from, well, this is a road from Pollença to Alcudia, and my god, it's nice because I climbed up to Pollença. It's just a gradual gradient down. I mean, I said that just before I went up, but in general, it's an amazing road. Okay, bloody hell. I mean, honestly, this place is full of cyclists. Like, cyclists by themselves, in pairs, like, and then entire pelotons, like 20 riders at a time. Fine, but like coming down this lane here, right, it's a single carriageway and it's really twisty. Like, this is a straight bit, which is why I'm filming, but it's really, really bendy. And this whole peloton of cyclists just came through, and like the first one managed to see me and he was like, bike coming, and like got people in a bit. But honestly, if he hadn't spotted me, like, they were covering the entire road. Like, I would have got knocked off my bike by a cyclist. And I am not one to complain about cyclists, but that was extreme. It just seems really dangerous, like not just for me but for them, because they're more likely to come into contact with a car. I guess you can see a car a bit more easily, but they were going really quickly. Anyway, I'm just really surprised. I've never seen cyclists behave like that before. And honestly, if he hadn't have spotted me, like, there was nowhere to go. It was just like stone walls on either side. In general, I'm a really cautious cyclist. I don't like cycling in pelotons anymore, mainly because I have very little peripheral vision on my left side. Not that much on my right, but it's better. But on my left side, I have massive blind spots, and have done for a few years, whereas I used to have perfect vision. But in general, like, I just don't really trust my vision, and I definitely don't trust anybody else's. I will say though that these lanes are epic. They're so good for cycling. There are really not that many cars on these roads, like, as I can see why, because it'd be a nightmare. You'd just never get past a cyclist. I can't get over it. I can't get over how good it is. It's such a wicked place to cycle, and there are so many cyclists. It's actually hilarious. Like, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, obviously, like, you have cities like Amsterdam and stuff where everyone is on a bike, Copenhagen, that kind of thing, but it's so different here because everyone is in lycra on a bike. As am I, obviously, but I can't get over it. The cyclists here are 80% men. I have seen women, but not very many. I haven't seen a single woman alone. Before you ask, guess I'm wearing flats. Flat pedals, flat shoes. I used to ride SPDs all the time, but gravel bike geometry means toe tap for someone as small as me, so I don't bother at the moment. But also, even if I was an SPD Rego wearer, I probably wouldn't, because I'm hiring a bike here for 2 days. Just an extra pair of shoes that you've got to carry in your cabin luggage. So yeah, I don't think I would. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, me being so far the only solo female. I certainly don't feel like, well, actually, I don't know. I had a lot of anxiety about coming here. So much so that I was in the airport yesterday in the UK thinking like, I should go home, just sack it all in and go home. But, you know, that's a voice in my head that I know not to listen to all the time. But I still came, and I don't know if that's because I am particularly experienced on the bike, so I don't have to worry about that kind of thing. I mean, I'm gonna say that definitely helps. Like, I don't feel uncomfortable wearing this ridiculous lycra get-up that I practically live in, and I'm not worried about, you know, hiring a bike that I might not understand how it works or how the gears work, because I just know that kind of stuff after years of experience. So I don't have to think about any of those things. And I just saw 2 women out cycling together. Yes! By I haven't seen any solo women, I mean like people who've obviously come out for a bike ride. I've seen plenty of local women cycling, you know, like upright sort of city bikes around by themselves. I don't mean that kind of cycling. So enough about gender and cycling. I'm about to enter Alcudia, and then I'm going to go straight up the other side of it to the Bonaire Peninsula. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's got a town called Bonaire and it's a peninsula, so that's what I'm going to go with. Oh, it's so pretty. Huh. My first Mallorcan street cat, which to be fair is a long time coming because I've been here for, I don't know, 15 hours and I haven't seen one yet, so whew, finally. So Alcudia is the old Roman capital of Mallorca, apparently, which is why there's a big citadel, which I'm guessing is not Roman, but maybe it is Roman, I don't know. It doesn't look very Roman. It does look old enough to be, but it feels more, I don't know, Moorish. Man, this is a hill coming out of Bonaire. Keep getting overtaken by men on e-bikes. Honestly, it's incredibly peaceful. I can hardly hear anything. It's amazing. Part of this peninsula is a military base at the end of this road, and there's a helipad down there with some feral goats eating the weeds on it. There are loads of feral goats here. They're really cute. This is the point that I'm going to turn around because I'm getting hungry. It is 11:30. I ate breakfast at 8 AM. I have had one like protein bar, but that's all I had with me, so I need to eat something. So I'm gonna head back down to Alcudia and then along the bay. I must learn what name this bay has. the Puerto Palenzo Bay, and then head back to Puerto Palenzo and get some food. So let's go. Just had to stop down this descent because it's so beautiful. Man, Alcudia is crazy in the daytime with so many buses. Almost back in Puerto Palenzo now. Whew, that was a headwind. Very coolly, at my hotel there is a bike storage place and it looks like everybody's still out on the roads, which is not surprising. So I can just hang my bike up here until tomorrow. So people really seem to assume that I was going to bring my own bike when I told people that I would be going to Mallorca to cycle, but actually I never even considered bringing my own bike. I was only ever going to be here for 4 days, I think. So flying my bike out here and then paying for all of that, packaging it up, taking it apart, re-putting it together again, all of that for just a couple of days. Not to mention getting it across the island from the airport, because I'm staying in the northeast and the airport's in the southwest. Which didn't even really occur to me, like it seems like so much faff. But also, you don't need to, because oh my god, you can hire a much better bike than you probably own here. And regardless of what bike you have at home, you can get fantastic ones here. So my gravel bike is probably in the same price bracket as my gravel bike back home, but it's just a bit newer, so it's really, really nice. It's got carbon forks. I didn't go full carbon because I am a bit scared that I'll break a rental bike, so I didn't want to have a full carbon bike, and also I didn't know what the terrain was going to be like, how rough it was going to be or anything like that. so I wanted to be quite careful. It was so easy because I literally just got to the bike hire place this morning. It opened at 9. I'm hiring it for 2 days. Got it this morning, like it's all set up for me. They've got like puncture repair kits, everything like that, a pump, everything like that. They just put on the bike for you. You can swap out the pedals if you want to. It's just got everything. It's got 2 water bottle cages, which I didn't realise, so I only bought 1 water bottle. And it's fantastic. I brought my quad lock with me, and they fitted that for me because I couldn't fly with Allen keys because aeroplanes don't let you fly with tools in your cabin baggage. So they fitted my quad lock for me. Like, it's been so good, it's been so useful. And because Mallorca is such a cycling crazy island, all the hotels, all the restaurants seem to just have bike storage places. So I've just stored it there, and then I'll keep it there tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to get up at the crack of dawn, which is 8 a.m. because it's late October. Sunrise is at 8. And I'm going to get straight on the road, straight up to the Formentor Peninsula. And then after that ride, I can just return it straight to the bike hire shop. And then I'm free of bike. I don't have anything with me. I've even hired a helmet for £2, I think. £2 a day, maybe. Just £2 for the whole thing. Can't remember. So I didn't have to bring anything with me. And it's just been absolutely fantastic. It's like a complete weight off my mind not having my own bike here. Like, that would really stress me out if I had my own bike here. And then obviously had to like just transport it around. I'm also going to spend the last night in Palma, so not cycling whatsoever. So I just want to be, free of, I don't want to have to lug a bike. I don't even know how I'd get a bike to the airport. I guess you'd have to cycle it everywhere. It'd be really annoying. So that's why I've hired a bike, and it's been fantastic. I hired it from Bike Island, Mallorca, which is just on the front, really, in Puerto Palenza, in the centre. It's, 200 metres from my hotel, and I'm staying at Hotel... Well, I guess my pronunciation of the hotel's name was so bad that my camera decided to cut out at that moment. It didn't cut out, it just froze, which is not ideal. But I'm staying at a hotel, I don't know how you pronounce the name, but it's spelled E-O-L-O, and it is the hotel I'm currently sat in on this lovely roof terrace. It was genuinely the cheapest place when I booked, and it has bike storage downstairs, which is really good. It's also, yeah, as I said, 200 metres from Bike Island's bike rental, but there are loads of bike rental shops everywhere you turn here, so you can go anywhere, although they are great. I imagine in the high season, bike rental places run out pretty quickly. I hired my gravel bike maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago now, maybe a little bit more than that, and there were already some bikes that weren't available, or some days that weren't available to hire on. So I would definitely book in advance. There are fewer women's bikes for rent, like in varying sizes and types, than there are men's bikes. There are still loads of women's bikes, but there are fewer, so bear that in mind as well, that you might want to book it even further in advance. But man, what a ride I've had today. It was so nice. I was riding for 3 hours, and I am quite tired, but it wasn't particularly arduous. It was about 400 metres of elevation gain in total, and as I said, I cycled from here, Puerto Palenza, to Palenza, down to Alcudia, over to Bona Peninsula, Victoria Peninsula, and then back around the bay. And it was just such a lovely ride. Like, honestly, most people could do it. There were some hills, but they weren't very big, and they weren't that bad. You can just push your bike up them if you wanted to. Most of the places that I cycled was either so low traffic, just like really quiet lanes, or when there were busier roads, there were designated cycle paths that were alongside them. So it was pretty stress-free, really. And then tomorrow I'm really excited because I'm going to take on the Formentor Peninsula, which is this peninsula here, and then it goes round the corner. You can't see it from like the rest of it from here, but it's going to be pretty full on, I think. But I'm aiming to go, yeah, really early, and then basically be back by lunchtime, I suppose. So this is my day 1 of my Mallorca adventure. Thanks for coming with me on this one, and I will see you on the Formentor Peninsula. Bye.